Cheers.
Cheers, James. Good to see you again.
I turn up like a bad penny.
Welcome to the shack, everybody, and enjoy the evening with us as we just have a look at a couple of products.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we've got to mention the wine, and it's actually a Porter 6, which is available over here in a lot of different outlets. It's from Portugal, and it's a blend of 3 different grapes. I would say that it is a fantastic drinking wine. This is not a wine to wax lyrical about and to have all the wine buffs falling over themselves saying what an amazing thing it is. It is a nice wine. I like it, so therefore it's a good wine. And what I think it is it's easy to drink, and it doesn't make you work for what it's got. And what it has got is a nice blend of flavours that gives you some quite a lot as it travels over your palate. I like to think of it as perhaps a Wednesday evening wine, and I don't mean that's because today is Wednesday. I mean when you've had a bad day and you get home and you just need a glass of wine before you start killing children. This would fit the bill.
In Cape Town, we call Wednesday mini weekend because it's halfway in the week and you go out.
Yeah.
Because Friday is only 2 days away. And I would agree, you need a very good drinking wine for a Wednesday evening. You were saying earlier, before we started, that possibly just one glass. James, when it comes to wine, I have to say, I don't think there's a thing called one glass.
I've never understood the requirement for wine stoppers. I mean, what are they for?
Cheers, everybody. And
Cheers.
if you want to, most of the major supermarkets here stock this, and also some of the major wine outlets in this country.
Right, now,
Cheers.
as we finish the wine, oh please, not before we have another bottle. You've been building South African stuff, so tell me a little bit about it, Terry.
Well, what I've got here on the desk is some products produced by a company called Model Railroad Specialist.
Right.
They are part of the hobby shop in Plumstead in Cape Town, Perry and Wayne, and they produce these laser cut buildings. The kits come in all sorts of bits and pieces like this, and they build up into fantastic models. They have a range of about 15, 16 kits, from farmhouses to shops to stations to they do amazing things. Let me just see if I can find it here for you, because this is something that is absolutely amazing. When you go down to Simonstown, there used to be a whale oil refinery. Okay, and I can remember as a kid the place stunk from the whale oil. Anyway, that building parts of that building still exist. It's now the scratch patch where you go and do precious stones as a kid. Wonderful play area and everything. It's just off the major road going from Glencairn into Simonstown, and there's that building. They had their own rail shunt into there years gone by, but that building could fit in anywhere in South Africa as an industrial building for your layout if you're building South African scenery.
So have they got any of the Cape Dutch type architecture?
They do. They've got a whole series. They've got the large farmhouse, the wine cellar, the farm manager's house. So there's the Cape Dutch farmhouse. I mean, that is iconic. You can go through the wine area in Paarl, Stellenbosch, Franschhoek, Pots of Constantia, and you will find buildings that look like that.
Well, that looks like Groot Constantia.
Yeah,
I mean, in my memory.
It is very similar to Groot Constantia. Actually, I think this is based on a building in Stellenbosch. One of the buildings. I don't know it offhand, but with that, you would. Let me just see if I've got it here, because they're absolutely fantastic. There's the farm manager's house that would go with that. Again, typical architecture. The two would be sort of alongside each other. And there's also, if I've got, did I bring it with me here? There's the cellars, and that goes on the other side, making your horseshoe of buildings. You would have your avenue of oak trees and your vineyards all around. And in the background, you would have, which they do a range of, is the farm workers cottage. This is one I built and mentioned it in our last clip. They are so easy to build. They build up brilliantly. I'll kind of bring this back in, but later on, James.
Yeah.
They then do a series of shops, which I'm going to show you. That one. They do fishhook station. So if you want a good suburban station, even in the Cape, the station had the Cape architecture. I mean, this fishhook station's iconic.
Yeah.
Okay, but they then do a traditional. I think this is Fariesburg post office. Okay, building. You then got a small country shop, and these are all over. Anywhere where there's a railway line with a bridge. These are relics of the Boer War. These were blockhouses built by Kitchener when he took over the British forces, used to fence in the Boer and make it life really difficult. But it also kept and protected the bridges. They put a less than a platoon, I think it was about 16 men in something like that, and they would then guard a major railway bridge.
Now that looks fantastic and is in very good condition. Are the real ones that are left, have they been maintained, or are they, or would we be looking to do a fair bit of weathering and?
Well, yes, you would have to, but some of them are national monuments.
Right.
And on your way to Maatjiesfontein, on the National Road, there's a bridge, a series of bridges over a river there, and there's one of them there, and it's in reasonably good nick. But they would be all over the place. I mean, those were the really big ones. There were some that were, nothing more than a dugout bunker, and with a bit of corrugated iron. You see, again, the corrugated iron is a big feature in colonial South Africa, and I'll bring that up later on as we go through all this. But yes, James, those things, and you see, if you are a war gamer, modelling Boer War, this product would add itself to that. Although this is done in 187, there's nothing stopping you really using it for 1 in 72. It's slightly out, but it's a pretty substantial model, so it fits in.
Fantastic.
Okay. I mean, I just love some of the stuff, the imagination that is gone into tracking down these buildings. The kits go together absolutely fantastic. I mean, the cutting here on the laser kits, I mean, it is so clean. There is no, when I built the building, I didn't have to cut anything else away. It was all done, it came away, and it just comes together.
Fantastic.
I used a quick drying PVA wood glue, and that works. I mean, you can get Dulux rocket glue that you can use on this, but good old wood glue, quick drying, quick setting wood glue works fantastic on these products.
So you've got this shop now, and you obviously know how to build these sorts of things.
Yeah.
So for somebody perhaps who's only done one or two, what would you say?
Let's put it on the basis of, if you've built an Airfix kit ever in your lifetime, you'll be able to build these.
Brilliant.
Okay, and the instructions, well, there aren't any. Okay, there's supposed to be a YouTube clip on how to build them, but these are just basic architectural buildings, 4 walls and a roof. Okay, and they
let
go
me have a
together.
little look in there. Now, perhaps I think, because that is fantastic. It's just that little attention to detail that I like. How did you do that?
What I did there is, obviously we glazed the windows, and then if you take off the roof, I put a false wall in there. But before I did that, I went online and I grabbed some photographs of some shop, racking and everything, and stuck it on the back of that. So when you look in through the window, okay, with the light, it gives you that 3D effect, that there's depth and everything. Obviously, you know, as we go along, it would be good to produce some transfers that would actually do this. But this was my first attempt at one of these. I would do one or two things. I used their awning, okay. If it was for my model railway, I would get out a few bits of wire and some foil and create a far more realistic looking awning. But that awning is pretty good. It does the job, okay. Their corrugated iron roof that comes with it, it's laser cut. It just slips onto there, and there you are. You've got a very, very convincing looking shop. I've called it the Lekker Algemene Handelaar en Drankwinkel, which means general dealer and bottle store. I also went online and grabbed a couple of traditional South African adverts.
They're fantastic.
And just stuck them on the wall, because wherever you go, you will find these little shops in the little villages, or dorps as they're called.
Yeah.
DORPS. Dorp means village, dorps the plural. Yeah, you would find shops like this everywhere.
Now, I take it that if we want to take it one stage further and actually put lighting or things like that in it, that it isn't an issue or a problem with something like that.
No, the only thing I would do if I was putting lighting in a building like this is where your joints are, okay, because that's where your lightings normally let you down. I normally cut a little bit of tin foil and stick them in the joints, just so that no light, if there is a crack, no light will come through the joint, because in real life, in your joints in your building, you don't get that. But that's what I do when I put some lighting in the building. Now, to enhance this building, I would use corrugated iron. That through Thunderbolt Models, we carry a range of products which we produce called Scenic City, where we make scale corrugated iron sheeting.
Wow.
Okay. And there it is. That is proper corrugated iron. You're not going to get in it. It's made out of pie dish foil.
Oh, you just disappointed me. I was hoping you were going to say platinum.
No. It's pie dish foil. I mean, if you want to, James, we can get gold. What's the name? Paper.
Gold leaf. Yeah.
Gold leaf paper, and I could most probably make it out of gold leaf, and you could spend a lot of money on your modelling.
Yeah, but we wouldn't need much, because it would only be where it's rusting.
But just to show you how it works, on the farm cottage, where these farm cottages would have either been thatched or they would have been corrugated on, instead of using the laser cut corrugated, I overlaid it with what we used.
Yeah, and I can tell you that really is 3D, because the pieces of corrugated iron have been overlapped as they would be. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously this is finished. I would now weather this still with weathering powders, but that's for a later date to show you. Now we produce this in 00 actually, which is 1 in 72. But to use it in 1 in 87, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. Yeah. We also produce 1 in 48 and 1 in 43 corrugated iron. Anything in South Africa, you will see corrugated iron everywhere, from shops, buildings, fencing, shacks, informal dwellings, you name it, corrugated iron is using.
Including that 4-star hotel we went to.
The one in Makiesfontein, it had a corrugated iron roof. So there we go. Okay. But yeah, and then if you are modelling and you want to take your modelling further, we carry another fantastic range. It's an embossed sheet, and we do brick in both 00 and O. And this is a chap in Greece, Dimitri makes this, and he's found an embossed wallpaper that has no plastic in it. And it takes the print beautifully, but it gives you that 3D effect. Now that's O gauge at the bottom, and that's 00 at the top. We do brick, we do a number of different types of brick sheets. We do stone. There's some stonework. Again, O at the top, 00 at the bottom. yeah, some more brick. We do cobblestones, road surfaces in this stuff, and it's all the same paper, but each one gives you that feel that it's not just printed flat.
You really can see the difference between the different scales.
Yeah, but it does give you that, that 3D feel to it, instead of just that 2D which you get when a lot of these printed paper sheets come out.
Yeah.
They look good, but there's no definition to them.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's fantastic. I really can feel the texture. What I like about it is it's not shiny in the way that quite often the plastic corrugated type stuff or whatever you want stippled is. It's pretty matte.
Yeah, it's very much matte, and it's not even satin. It's got a real matte feeling to it. So brilliant. It takes the weathering powders as well. So when you're wanting to weather into the corners and dirty it up and put your mud and everything on, it does all that.
So where you've got bridges and all those things with the arches and the shops and whatever underneath, take it. You can just cut it up and use it for that.
Correct, and it's a magnificent product. Just to help, they do. There's the cobblestone road. Okay, because obviously, in the UK we have a lot of cobblestone road. There's a little bit in Cape Town. I don't know if there's anywhere else in South Africa, but in Cape Town there was a bit of cobbled road. Not much left, but yes. But for embutments,
look at that.
That's real railway looking.
Yeah.
Stonework, for embutments, bridge work.
Yeah.
Retaining walls. It's there. To use.
So if I just had I was looking at trying to produce, say, a raised rail at the back of something, I can actually get sheets of this, which, because it's just a flat thing, actually has the arches and all the rest of it.
Yes, we carry that. I haven't got it here. For some reason, I didn't bring one with.
Wow.
But there's a set of arches. There's a set of abutment corners that he does and printed on there. Because it's used for wargaming, he's got some Roman architecture that's been printed onto the sheet. So if you're wargaming in the Roman era, he's got the sheeting that goes with it. But
hopefully he's got the actual slingshot that David used to slay Goliath.
Well, he's Greek. I don't know if he knows that. Okay. Anyway, I would say, James, that for tonight, I think we've got there. All I'd like to say is you can find all these products on our website on www.thunderboltmodels.com and look them up.
Fantastic. Now, a little bit more, because one glass is never enough.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.